Hi, Rex with Affordable Street Rods. I want to talk to you just a little bit today about air conditioner hoses. Most of you are pretty familiar, I'm sure, with beadlock barrier hose and beadlock fittings. This is a number 10 barrier hose with a number 10 bulkhead style beadlock crimp fitting on the end. This is what we've used for quite a while with the 134A refrigerant. It's an O-ring style fitting typically, and we crimp the ends of the hoses onto the hose. To do this takes a special tool. The one that we use here is a handheld hydraulic unit. Works fantastic. A little pricey for the tool. If you're only going to do 1 or 2 air conditioner jobs in your lifetime, you may want to find someone that has a tool, or you may want to go to a refrigerant shop to get your hose ends crimped. This stuff is very reliable. Priced very reasonable. One of the downsides to it is you notice this hose is pretty stiff and pretty big. Because of the stiffness of the hose, it doesn't twist. This hose really does not like to twist at all. So typically, when we do an installation with barrier hose and beadlock fittings, I will assemble all of this on the car, place a small mark with a Sharpie pen on the fitting, and then a registration mark on the hose, so that as I go to crimp it, I can reassemble it and make sure that the hoses are clocked appropriately in the hoses. If you have a straight fitting on one end and a 90-degree fitting or a 45-degree fitting on the other end, it's not so critical. But if you have an angled fitting on both ends of the hoses, then it's really critical that those hose fittings be clocked appropriately so they'll reinstall back when you put the hose back on the car. This is beadlock fittings on barrier hose. I want to talk to you about something that's new from Vintage Air that we just absolutely love. It's called the Easy Clip hose system. This is an Easy Clip hose kit. Part number is 547002. It's available at affordablestreetrods.com. And it's a wonderful new product for do-it-yourself, especially air conditioning in your own shop. Tools requirement is minimal. Instead of the $600 plus crimping tool, you can install it with this pair of pliers. Pliers are also available on the website. So this is the hose kit. Comes with number 6, number 8, number 10 Easy Clip hose. You'll notice that the size of the hose is significantly smaller than conventional barrier hose. It's also got kind of a textured cloth wrap around it. This hose is much more supple than the barrier hose. It's much smaller in diameter, so it's easier to hide inside the car. The kit comes with, I believe it's 10 foot of number 6 hose. There's a length of number 8 hose to go from the compressor to the condenser. And then the suction hose, the number 10 suction hose is included as well. All of the fittings are included. We carry fittings obviously in the kit, and we carry them individually. So if you need to make a swap, we can certainly help you with that. A fitting, this is a number 6 90-degree fitting. So part of the fitting is going to include what's called a cage. There's a little groove around the fitting. The cage snaps into the groove, and then each fitting requires 2 clamps. So the fitting slides into the hose, the cage snaps onto the fitting, and then the 2 clamps install in the little grooved areas of the cage. And so we will assemble one of these for you here in just a minute, but the kit comes with grommets to go through your firewall. You can also use this system with like a firewall bulkhead, like a polished bulkhead or a black bulkhead, or you can simply just slide the hoses through the firewall grommets that are included in the kit as well. The kit also includes some PAG oil to lubricate the hose and the fittings, as well as the O-rings when you get ready to install this. One really nice component of this is the whole issue of clocking is no longer a problem, where the hose fittings have to be clocked appropriately so that they'll reinstall in your system. With this kit, this tool clamps the clips into place like so, and if you turn the pliers over, it unclasps it. So we'll go over to the vise and I'll actually show you how this system installs. All right, so next we're going to install a fitting on the Easy Clip hose. So what I have here is a number 10 90-degree Easy Clip fitting. I'm going to gently clamp this in the vise. It doesn't have to be incredibly tight, just nice and snug. I'm going to use some of the PAG oil that comes in the hose kit. I'm going to lubricate the end of the fitting a little bit where it slides into the hose. Just makes it slide in a little easier, like so. I have a piece of number 10 Easy Clip hose that I've cut to length, and I'm going to slide the two clips onto the hose. I'm a little picky, so I like to have both of the clips oriented the same so that they match each other. I'm going to slide those onto the hose, and next I'm just going to gently push the hose onto the fitting as far as it'll go, like so. You notice there's a little groove around the top of the fitting. The cage is going to snap into that groove like so, and then I'm going to work the clips over the cage and orient them on the hose fitting like so to clamp them into place. These are the pliers. You notice the pliers has one jaw has a skinny side and one side has a fat side. Play with the pliers a little bit to figure out which side clamps and which side unclamps. So I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. I'm going to squeeze. I've got the pliers backwards, I can tell already. I'm going to squeeze until I hear a click, and then this clamp will be tight. There's the first one. I'm going to make sure that I orient them so that those two bumps on the clips or on the clamps line up just right. And that fitting is done. I've done that in my garage with nothing other than the Easy Clip pliers. One little trick that we do sometimes in the shop, we'll cut a little section of heat shrink hose or heat shrink tubing to fit over that hose cage and clamp system. Heat shrink it down. It just kind of cleans up the end of it a little bit. It has nothing to do with preventing any leaks. It just makes the system a little bit cleaner. Earlier we talked about the importance of clocking the hose fittings appropriately, because again, the hose does not like to twist. So with Easy Clip, if we have a misalignment of our fittings and we need to realign the fitting in the hose, it's much easier than it is with the old barrier hose and beadlock fittings. Barrier hose and beadlock fittings, our option would be to cut the hose off, install a new fitting at the correct angle, hope that the hose is long enough, and then recrimp. With the Easy Clip system, we can simply reverse the pliers, unclamp the clamp, clock the hose in any direction that we like, realign the cage, and re-clamp the clamps. And again, now we have a reliable, leak-proof fitting done in our own garage. If you are curious about heater hoses, this is a number 10 refrigerant hose with a number 10 90-degree fitting. We can use this very same hose in heater applications. This is a stainless steel adapter fitting. These are available in 1/2-inch pipe thread for the Chevy guys, 3/8 pipe thread for the Ford guys. One of these would screw into your intake manifold, one of these into your water pump, and it has an O-ring fitting on top. So all I have to do to lubricate this O-ring, just like I would in an air conditioner application, and screw this fitting directly onto the stainless steel adapter. And I have a refrigerant hose that's now become a heater hose. So in that case, at my firewall bulkhead, all 4 hoses are identical, the same look, the same feel, the same texture. Just another little trick. All of these pieces are available at affordablestreetrods.com, or you're also welcome to give us a call with questions at 620-792-2836. Thanks for tuning in.